What's up, fellow classers? It's Pauline here, and going to make a video for kind of like I know Powerbang has done a great job, so I mean, if you ever want to know how to GoHo, the strategies with drawings and all that kind of stuff, just visit his channel and watch his How to GoHo. I'm going to kind of focus on Town Hall 8 here, especially after the last war we had with LP6 Pegasus, because we used tons of GoHo attacks. And I mean, most of us were successful on our first attack. So for me, GoHo is the new Mass Dragon on Town Hall 7. If done right, it can't be stopped. I mean, it's, you know, just like anything else, if done wrong, it will fail. But most of the time, if executed correctly, it'll go ahead and take out almost any base. Obviously, if it's heavily compartmentalized, just go mass hog. I mean, that's it. But for any other base, anti 3-star base, anti 2-star base, all that kind of stuff, GoHo is definitely going to crush it. And GoHo means, for me, mainly using either 1 or 2 golems, cold-blooded with 1 or shattered with 2, and mainly hogs. That doesn't mean you can't throw in you know, maybe 1 or 2 Valks, maybe 1 or 2 P.E.K.K.A.s in there, something like that. But mainly golems and hogs, and you know, we'll go ahead and go through each one. The main goal within, you know, using a GoHo is to get that golem or golems into compartments where you're going to trigger at least 1 giant bomb, and better yet, a double giant bomb set. Because as you know, whenever you trigger that giant bomb or double giant bomb, once those things are all taken care of, hogs can roam free, and any base can be completely crushed with hogs if there's no more giant bomb spots to be tripped, or you can heal the single giant bomb spots. So we'll see how that's taken care of right here. We'll go through a couple of attacks, and we'll watch Zito go ahead and start us off here. So he's going to go ahead and bring a GoHo just with 1 golem in here. He'll get the lure. You can choose to pull a lure and actually take care of that clan castle, or you can just start dropping your golem in. It all depends on how much you want to get out of that golem and how far they need to make it through the base to trigger those giant bombs. So we're going to go ahead and watch him as he brings 6 wall breakers, 3 heals, so he's going to go hog heavy, so he doesn't really need to make it too far with his golems and kill squad, because his hogs are going to do most of the work. He brings 20 and maybe even 25 hogs, so he'll send his golem in there. The wizards will go ahead and take care of him as the loon starts dropping on that golem. But he'll send his wall breakers in right here. He'll go ahead and bust in through that first compartment, and he'll start getting some cheap hits out of those hogs. Look at all those defenses are attacking the golem, so he can send 1, 2, 3 hogs in there and take out a lot of point defenses and other defenses, as long as they don't hit spring traps. That golem right there is going to trigger both giant bomb sets. So, a giant bomb set, double giant bomb. So at this point, the base is wrecked. He still has 2 more heals left over. He can throw his hogs in there. He just has to heal at the potential giant bomb spots, which he has completely covered. He still has hogs left over in his clan castle, which he'll send right here. And yeah, even if they trigger a giant bomb, it doesn't matter at this part. But he still has that extra heal left over, and he'll go ahead and take care of them. I don't even know where there it is. There's the last giant bomb spot. They're not even in the heal there, but at this point, it's all over anyway. They'll go ahead and kill the skellies, and the king and the barbarians are running around. The wizards are running around cleaning up the trash. So, I mean, it was a great, great thing. He accomplished what he needed to. He got that golem into that double giant bomb spot, actually triggered it, and then sent the hogs in a kind of surgical fashion and took care of all the rest of the spot. Swagged the poison. If you're using a GoHo, most of the time you do not need to use poison on the skellies. Sometimes you do, but a lot of times the golems and king will go ahead and spring those traps, and you can actually use them on the clan castle instead. So great 3-star attack. That's a good example of how 1 golem and mass hogs can be used to wreck a base. Let's go on to the next one. For our next one, we only have to jump down 1 to number 7 and watch Sen, our number 15, take out their number 7. A fairly common internet base, pretty not large compartments. So we'll go ahead and check what he does with this attack. He'll go ahead and bring, again, 1 golem and mass hogs, and 2 wall breakers, so very little wall breakers in here. He does have 3 heals, so he's going to rely heavily on the hogs, but he's going to go ahead and do a lure with his hogs to grab that dragon and balloon in there, and he's going to go ahead and do another anchor up top. So he's going to do a full lure and kill the clan castle with wizards and barbarians. All done. Sends the golem in there, start tanking for the cannon and the mortar and everything like that. Drops the wall breakers, no wall breaker fail, which is great. Everything starts collapsing into that semi-core in that first compartment, and he drops a P.E.K.K.A. in there to help them out. So what they're going to do is they're going to make their way, they're going to kill the king, they're going to aggro, and they will trip 1 giant bomb, and then as they make their way, they're going to smack down that king, and then they're going to go ahead and trip a second giant bomb in just 1 second. Or I thought they were, but yeah, there we go. So the double giant bomb set is gone. It's time to send the hogs in. He's already ahead of me. He'll go ahead, and it's a symmetrical base, which means you can send them into each side and start working their way in the core, heal the right and the left equally. And I mean, right now the base is completely wrecked. There's only 1 more giant bomb spot. He has another heal left, and he's got tons of hogs left over. So he'll go ahead and drop that heal in just a second right here, and heal that other giant bomb spot, as they'll trip it in just a second, I believe, as they make their way over to that last cannon. There we go. And again, they're not even standing in heals. It was not the best heal. It could have been dropped a little higher or whatever, but you know, it doesn't matter. I mean, there's no more defenses left to take it, so it is all over. So this is an example where you can bring a P.E.K.K.A. in your clan castle, a max P.E.K.K.A., and get a lot of value into there, especially when the core is a little bit more open like it is. And you know, you can trip all those spots where those giant bombs and double giant bomb sets are. So great 3-star send, nice attack, and a way to show us how to GoHo, man. A few more to look at. We'll go ahead and jump down to number 15, and we will see Fury go ahead and take their leader, Spence 23 cents, out of the picture. So he is going to, we'll look at this, a lot of open compartment here, a lot of things to work with, a lot of potential giant bomb and double giant bomb spots. It's a great time to use GoHo for this type of base, and go ahead and crush it. He'll go ahead and do another one where a single golem and mostly mass hogs brings 3 heals again, because he's going to rely very heavily on those hogs. So he'll go ahead and trigger the clan castle, which is a good thing you bring extra hogs for that, because this one is one of those weird clan castles where they just bring tons of wizards and archers and loons. This should be taken care of with poison, just like this. I mean, it'll catch you by surprise, but if you know about it or you catch it at the right time, the whole entire clan castle will be destroyed by poison. He does drop a barbarian in there to make them you know, fit into that poison cloud, which was great. Didn't cover them all to begin with. It will definitely take care of that wizard, but the balloon will go pretty much untouched. So he'll go ahead and drop the, so it's a partial lure kill, most of it, but he'll have to drop that golem in to speed it up, and those wizards will soon aggro on that balloon and take care of it. Wall breakers will be, I'm pretty sure, fail as far as that compartment, so send some more in, and this is where he wants to be. He wants to break into this compartment right here. Golems will switch in there. He'll go ahead and drop his king, and let's see what he brings within this clan castle. If he doesn't drop a P.E.K.K.A. in here real soon, then he probably brought hogs. There we go. Okay. So they'll trip 1 giant bomb right there. The hogs are sent in as they trip that. He'll go ahead and use 1 heal already. And there he goes with the second giant bomb trip. So that double giant bomb trip, double giant bomb set is tripped. Wizards are killing the clan castle. Everything clearing around the edges. Sends the last bit of hogs in. He still has another heal. There's only 1 giant bomb left. And we'll go ahead and trigger that right there. And the hogs will get healed all the way up to full, and there's only 4 more defenses left, so it's going to be no problem for those hogs to take care of these, especially standing in those heals. The only other thing that's bad is the skellies, but you know, as soon as they take care of that cannon, they'll all turn on that. then the king will so nicely come meet up with them and try to help the skellies, but he'll be taken care of real quick too. So now it's just time for cleanup. So it's got tons of hogs left over. His wizards are cleaning the edges along with the barbarians hitting on the walls. And yeah, it's just a good time. So we'll fast forward it. GoHo is a great strategy for both first and second attacks. Sometimes if you send them in the wrong way, you'll still be able to trigger some or at least find out where they are. But a lot of times you'll have a lot of things to work with, especially on second attacks. I think this was definitely a cleanup attack. So you'll know exactly where to send these kings and golems and whatever else to trigger those giant bomb sets. So it was great, 3 stars, great job, Fury. Way to knock Spencer out there, man. All right, so we've seen a lot of cold-blooded or one golem entry. So we're going to go ahead and take a look at a shattered or 2 golem entry with the next attack, and that will be at our number 18. You can also look at the war recap of this particular LP6 war to see my attack for a partial shattered entry or 2 golems. But we're going to go ahead and take a look at our number 21 True Alpha, bring a shattered entry, 2 golems, and take care of this base against their number 18, little Bogsy. And you'll see this is common. It's still a great attack. The only problem is it's almost a staple for Town Hall 9, so it's great practice for that. But it's very costly as far as units. I mean, 2 golems are 60 units, and you only got 200 plus your clan castle. So it's very unit intensive and rich to bring 2 golems in there. So you got to make them work. When you're bringing 2 golems in, you want to do a couple different things. You definitely want to make it to at least a giant bomb, but probably a double giant bomb spot. You want to be able to tank quite a bit, and you want your kill squad, your 2 golems, your king, maybe you bring something in the clan castle. You want them to make it quite far and possibly even take out that enemy king. All for the value of all those units. You're also expending a lot with your wizards too, creating the funnels and all that kind of stuff. So you definitely want to get a lot out of those units and make your way through a good portion of the base. And then basically use the hogs to clean up all the rest of it. So let's take a look at True Alpha do this. You also have the luxury of not doing a lure if you don't want to, or pulling a lure. So he'll start the clearing, funneling with those 2 minions up at the top, and then he'll just start dropping his golems in there and creating a funnel with the wizards on the edges. And he'll drop the other golem in just a second. There we go. And drop some wizards as the archer towers are firing on them. It'll drop in the wall breakers to go ahead and get them through towards the first compartment. Drop in some more. Fortunate with that clan castle, it's all mostly ground, so not too much damage. The wizards and king will take care of those clan castle units, and they'll rage them up to get rid of that balloon real fast. Some more wall breakers to open up the compartments even more, and we'll see those 2 golems reroute in there, and they'll make it through. Bam! Now they go. There goes a double giant bomb set. They'll aggro on the king. The king will use his ability and smack down that king, the enemy king, and he'll start to send in some of his hogs. Now he does have 2 heals left over. In a great scenario, the golems will still be tanking. He could have sent the hogs in from the right hand side because the golems are tanking. If you look at that, it's a full golem is tanking the Tesla and cannon, but that's all right. He still has 2 heals, which is plenty for a base this size. And he doesn't even need to use it because that golem is tanking that cannon there. So, the golem triggered that other giant bomb spot. So, again, just tons of value out of those 2 golems and that king. Just basically allowed those hogs to completely wreck the base. So, a lot of times when you're going to use a shattered entry, you'll know where those giant bomb spots are. So, you make sure you get all of them, and the hogs will just basically skate through the whole entire base untouched. And you see how many hogs he's got left over. So we'll fast forward it. There's still 2 golemites there. Wizards are cleaning up. Swag, heal, and a great 3-star attack by True Alpha, man. Way to show us how to GoHo with a shattered entry and no lure. A few more bases, a few more attacks to look at with this GoHo strategy. And this one, we're going to look at mine. So I'm going to go ahead and hit their number 22. And this time they did not have a hole in the base, so I actually had to earn my keep here. I'm going to just go. I'm going to bring yeah, I'm just going to go with a cold-blooded. I'm only going to bring one golem in, just like the rest of the guys did. My goal is it's going to be a cleanup attack, so I know that double giant bomb set is at the right-hand corner where the Barbarian King is. So I'll go ahead and do the standard lure with a hog, grab that clan castle, go ahead and feed the barbarians and wizard kill. Go ahead and take care of that, and then I'll send my golem in there. I'll start funneling with the wizards. So I'll make sure I did bring a P.E.K.K.A. in my clan castle, max P.E.K.K.A. in there. I want them to make it all the way to that double giant bomb spot. So as soon as that last building goes down, I'll go ahead and send the king and the P.E.K.K.A. in there right after him. They'll start making their way towards there. And I'll go ahead and rage them up because I want them to go ahead and take care of that king as well and knock him down. And they'll go ahead and like basically two-shot him. He's done. And they'll start making their way around. The golem will start tanking for my hogs. I'll start sending them in. I did bring 2 extra heals for those hogs. I know that giant bomb spot is right there because, of course, it's a symmetrical base. So if the double giant bomb is on the right-hand side, the single giant bomb is on the left-hand side. And there it is. Triggered. Guess what? Hogs are healed all the way back up to full. They'll start making their way around the base. Trigger a couple skellies. The king and the P.E.K.K.A. will go for a nice scenic walk around the edge, but that's just fine. The hogs will go ahead and start making their way. I'll cover them up with heals because there's only 2 more point defenses after they're finished with that. There's no more giant bomb spots to hit, so they'll be able to just hit maybe some spring traps, but I have tons of hogs left over, so even spring traps won't ruin my day there. That P.E.K.K.A. will go ahead and bust his way in, take care of that second to last defense, and now it's just time for cleanup. I'll go ahead and just kind of swag the poison, take out those skelly traps or whatever, make it quicker. P.E.K.K.A. will chase after the hogs. The hogs will start jumping walls and basically taunt the P.E.K.K.A., but that's all right, and it's all done. 6-star war for me, 3 stars with the GoHo here. So another example of one golem with the P.E.K.K.A. in the clan castle. So we're going to switch things up a little bit with the next attack and show you a different GoHo strategy. Alright, so for the next attack, we're going to go ahead and look at our number 18 hit their number 23 with a GoHo, bring a P.E.K.K.A. of his own, and bring 5 hogs in the clan castle. So he'll do a standard lure, but this time they nicely filled the clan castle with 5 loons. So guess what? That level 2 poison will definitely take out max loons with no problem, drops them out. We'll watch them suffer a fiery, poisonly death. And then he'll go ahead and drop his golem in there. He brings 1 golem and wall breaks in. That golem will go ahead and reroute back into that first compartment. Use the wizard to start cleaning up before he sends his Barbarian King in there. So the Barbarian King doesn't walk, sends his P.E.K.K.A. in there as well. And yep, so he'll go ahead and use some more wall breakers to open it up. And there he sends his king in there. It's a little late. It's lucky the king didn't start walking. But they'll make their way into that second compartment. They knock out the king, start banging on the walls, and he'll wait to deploy his hogs until, remember, the whole point of this is to trigger at least a giant bomb or 2. So there you go. Just tickles the king and P.E.K.K.A., that double giant bomb spot and golem. So the king rages up and will start pounding through the walls a little bit more, but it's time to deploy the hogs. He brought 3 heals to go ahead and heal these hogs up. So he'll use this first one as they walk into that splash damage of the Wiz Tower. A Tesla pops and then triggers a couple skelly traps. Sends some more hogs, and there goes the clan castle hogs. There is only 1 more giant bomb spot available, or 1 more giant bomb available. So he'll heal. Actually, that is not over the giant bomb spot. The giant bomb spot should be down a little bit further. But it looks like there is not one. Or at least there is not another giant bomb in the core. So that's fine. It works out pretty well. Unless I missed it, which I don't see it. But there was a Tesla there instead. But it's time to clean up. So the golem did what it was supposed to do. It triggered the double giant bomb set there and made the hog attack very simple and very easy. So we'll go ahead and finish that cleanup there, and we'll move on to the next one. Good 3-star attack, man. We've seen a lot of GoHos with level 2 golems. So the question is, can you use GoHo with level 1 golems? And you know what? I'm glad you asked that question, because we're going to show you right now how you can use golems with that are level 1 and you can still crush a base. So he's going to bring again a shattered entry, 2 golems, not a very wide split, but that's fine. He'll go ahead and make sure those wall breakers get into that thing and reroute the golems after they take care of that cannon. So one of them reroutes, and we'll go ahead and focus on that mortar there. Starts the funnel, sends the king in there. Again, that 2 golems allows him to do a no lure, where he doesn't have to waste any time pulling the clan castle, and he'll rage those wizards up. They'll take care of the dragon and the balloon, and look at that, they trigger both giant bombs, double giant bomb set, and as soon as that double giant bomb set is triggered, it's time to send in the hogs, because the hogs really have nothing to fear except that last giant bomb, but that can be covered by those 2 heals that he has left over, or I'm not sure what it is. So we'll go ahead and use that last and final heal over this last giant bomb spot right there, and they'll go ahead and take care of those last defenses. Boom, there goes the giant bomb, but the hogs are completely standing in healed completely up to full. 2 more defenses left, and this archer tower never saw it coming. Completely crushed, smashed, and demolished. And yeah, so these are great examples of how to use single GoHo, double GoHo, different things in your clan castles. Again, you want to get value out of those golems. You want them to be able to make it into the spot of the base where they can trigger that single giant bomb, but more appropriately the double giant bomb spot. Because once the double giant bomb spot is taken care of, hogs will never be able to not crush a base. They'll always be able to go in there and just take care of it, just like all of these attacks were. So I think you got a chance to see some pretty decent compilations of how many hogs to bring, depending on whether you're bringing 1 or 2 golems. And for this one, actually brought a lot of hogs. So usually you get about 15, 16 of your own, and maybe a couple in the clan castle. You can mix and match that and choose a P.E.K.K.A. in there. You can go GoHo as well, sprinkle in a couple Valkyries or 3 Valkyries in there instead of the P.E.K.K.A. and do that as a variation of GoHo. It just really depends on what you want to accomplish out of that base. So hopefully you were able to learn a little something. I know I have with all of our attacks from WHF Rising. I've seen many different variations of GoHo, just like you've seen here, and I've practiced them. I got my 6-star war, this one, using strictly GoHo, either 2 golems or 1 golem, depending on what the base needed. So looks like it's working out, and I'm going to continue to do that if appropriate. So anyway, this is Apollyon signing out, and we'll see you next time.